Hi everyone, kinda wa gamu dia pula mora matlapane mora tsipane msimana go taung ke re ke ala amogela mo gospel chat with Neo. Today I have Nalem Patwa go chapole dane. And the drama, the songwriter, the chef again, yeah. Mr. Mpeke.
Yeah.
How's it, man?
I'm good, Mr. Mmuso,
it's good to have you on Gospel Chat with Neo. What can I say?
The main thing in the gospel space.
Listen to yourself. No, but it's not like that. But before the music and all that, how do you define Pule Mpeke and everybody like who's Pule Mpeke in a way?
Sure, that's a difficult question to answer. Who is Pule Mpeke? I'm just a guy, a small guy from.
Small in what way? In terms of the body, the height, and all that, or what?
Okay, let's try that again. I'm just a guy.
Sure.
No, I'm just a guy, man, from Matlosana,
yeah,
who's in Pretoria now, trying to make a living, serving people with the gifts I have. That happens to be in the music industry. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Chasing after the bread, all the way from Matlosana.
Yeah, I don't know if it's chasing after the bread, but yeah,
somewhere.
Something along those lines.
Let's talk your early days, your music career.
Yeah,
You started young. I mean, those who know you will tell like you are good in terms of production.
Yeah,
and those who know you know he played a little bit of jazz here and there.
Yeah.
And before we could be exposed to you in the gospel industry.
Yeah.
Where does it begin? Where does the love start?
I think the love probably starts from my parents. Well, my dad specifically. So no one in the family sings or plays an instrument, like my immediate family.
Okay.
But then my dad loves sound. So my dad has always been that guy at church who be nama sound and stuff like that. Bought me a keyboard when I was about 6. Learned it, played a bit at church. Few years down the line, got introduced to drums. Did that for a while. Eventually, this is where I'm at now. Studied music, did the whole shebang, and living the dream.
Man, you know, this thing at 6 years is young stress.
Yeah.
Every musicians or everyone will tell no man at 6 years. At some point,
no, it's it can get that way, but I mean, it is what it is, because most of us, honestly speaking, legit started at church. Like it's very rare to hear someone.
Beside church, like the age. The age, 6 years.
I mean, that's sort of like the age where you sort of like are a bit more functional than when you were younger. The one that I struggle with is the 2 years or 3 years, and because I've got a 3-year-old, so they are exceptions. But I mean, when you're like 6-year-old, you're sort of like functional and you sort of like know what you like. Even the kids of today, they already know what they like. They're exposed to more stuff than we are. So at that age, you sort of like know what you like and you can receive things. And well,
I can't say much about kids. I don't have anything.
No, don't do it, my brother. Don't do it.
Yes, but all that. But moving along, keyboard at 6 and all that, like playing in church.
Yeah.
One thing about drums, they are loud, man.
Yeah.
Especially if you are alone, like I don't know about you, but I know when I was still trying to do other things, and the Lord said, "No, this is not your calling.
This is not for you."
How do you guys get to check within only one? Because you have to check when you are alone.
It's like anything, man. If you love it, you'll do it, irrespective of the implications of it.
Sure.
But I mean, over the years, there's easier ways to do it.
Yeah.
There's things you can buy.
Yeah.
And here's the weird thing about me. I hate noise. But I play drums. I legit hate noise. And that's probably one of the reasons why I'm a soft drummer, for lack of better words. Because I hate noise. You know. So even when I'm practicing, it would be very slightly soft.
Do you still check that play?
I have to, man.
Because like, you know, once you have hit that thing, I'm like, no, I'm in the mainstream now.
No,
like,
you
I
have to,
check out
man.
things.
The thing is, while I'm sitting here with you, there's a boy who's 10 years. He's practicing right now. So I can't be chilling.
Yeah. So who are you checking back in the days? Who was your inspiration and who was pushing you?
Yeah, the first mainstream or big drama that I got exposed to was Big Mike when he was doing Asha.
Okay.
And then he was still doing Israel Alive in
Yeah,
South Africa.
yeah.
Those were the first big influential drummers outside of the country that I got exposed to in terms of drumming. I mean, obviously, we've all been through Temba Masina. He was one of the first.
Bafana,
The late Kwezi. So those were the guys that we were really checking back then. And then obviously, as time evolved, you meet new people, you get introduced to new stuff. There's Abos Kumbuzo, there's Sneaky, there's Peter. Like, the list is endless. But when I started, the first two guys I got exposed to was Big Mike back then. Or not two, he was the only one. Then the rest followed. Yeah.
Okay, and well, you got into the industry. When did your breakthrough come through? When did you you get, okay, there's my big breakthrough, and then I'm getting into it?
It's actually very interesting. So I think it's in around 2010. It was my second year at TUT. And I was starting to feel like this thing is not...
Are these keeping?
Yeah, it's not popping the way I thought it would, you know. Not that I knew how it's supposed to pop anyway, you know, but I just felt like it's not popping. And being a Christian, we all, at some point, we all say to God, Yazin, once, type of thing. So I had one of those moments. I was like, hey, man, if this is really what you've called me to do or something that I'm gifted in doing, something's got to give, you know. And then a few weeks down the line, so my banner, was still at school with us at the time. He's still doing the jazz thing, you know. Then he randomly called me the one time, and it was late at night, around 11, 12, somewhere around there.
Were you the last option, you know?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because sometimes you have to wonder, I'm the last option, you know, the last.
At that time, I didn't really matter, you know. You know, for me, I was still at school, and I wasn't really big on gigging anyway, you know. So he gave me a call. It's like, hey, man, what are you doing tomorrow? There's a thing that I'm doing, and they don't have a drummer. Would you be able to get to Pyramid Studios? Yeah, there was a studio called Pyramids.
In Joburg?
Yeah, in Joburg. Back then. I think it's still there, but it's a spa.
Joburg South?
Yeah, but I think it's a spa, conference center, but they had studios and rehearsal spaces. I'm like, yeah, sure, no, let's do it. I'm like, how do I get there? He's like, I'm down with one plan. You know? No, I figured it out. I got myself there. So as I'm sitting, they had like a nice chilling space, TV, MTV base, whatever. When we're chilling, Mmuso Koza walks in as I'm sitting. Walks in, greets, sets up, does his thing, hangs around. Then who walks in? Then Duduzo walks in with Mpokodisan. They walk in, they do their thing. So now I can hear, they don't know me, so I can hear them, they're having a conversation. Hey, who are we playing with? What's happening? Then my banner comes in, I greet each other. It's like, oh, you made it, you early. Like, yeah, great. He sets up, does it, and then he introduces me, I know this is Pule, he's going to be drumming for us, blah, 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 blah. Few minutes later, Sipogazi walks in, and we were doing Sipogazi's launch for a third album. And that was my entry into the industry, literally.
The mainstream,
yeah, through Sipoma Bena. The rest is history.
And through all those years up until today, what has been the most thing that you found challenging within the industry?
Yeah, I think
because you've done secular and you are doing gospel, so yeah.
I think the challenging thing for me personally is my character. So I'm an introvert. As loud as I sound right now, I had to buy some speaking data bundles.
You had to buy some data.
Yeah, but I'm like an introvert. So when you get into the industry, you can't always be an introvert because you need to engage with people. People need to know who you are. Sometimes you're on the road for 4 hours with these people and you can't be sitting there for 4 hours and not say anything. They will not call you back because you are just there to play the music. They can't hang around with you. You know, so for me, that's the biggest challenge, just being in all of these different setups and being able to be true to who you are or who you believe you are, but still make everyone comfortable around you. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense because, you know, sometimes
unless if there's something else you want to ask me that I'm maybe avoiding and I'm not aware.
no, you do make sense, because at the end of the day, like, you are saying it's your character more like more like, ish, I need to, and it's not you trying to fit in, but then it is how fast the industry can be at the end of the day, because like, and
let me tell you the story. Actually, I won't mention the name. There's a thing I did a few years back, a launch with this specific artist, gospel artist. They're from KZN, you know, and most of the team is from KZN. So they called me in like, hey, we're doing this thing, come through. I'm like, oh no, cool. We do the vibe. But they knew each other, so it was like a click thing, you know.
So when almost
but it was fine. We did the thing, chilled, and then on the actual launch, one of the artists that I'd worked with was also around, and she was just observant of what's happening, you know. Then she texted me 2 days after the launch, like, listen, man, I don't know how you do it, but you do it well. You sat with those people for probably 2 weeks with their clique, and you maintained who you are. You didn't try to fit in, because she had worked with them as well. She's like, I know how they are, I know what type of people they are, but you maintained who you are. You did your job. It's like, I don't know how you do it. Keep doing it. It's not my piece of cake.
So from what I'm getting from what you're saying, having to have a backbone and your lifestyle, it really matters in this industry. I'm saying industry because, like, I don't want to say gospel. I'm just saying industry for now.
Yeah, I think it does, man, because it's what keeps you there, really. The skill gets you there, but what keeps you there is we're not always going to play music. And COVID taught us that. We are not always going to play music.
You have to do other stuff.
At some point you need to do other stuff, and you need to engage with a business person to make the next thing happen. So if your character and your integrity you can't communicate well, you're gonna get yourself into trouble, and you're not even aware most of the time, because and we think everyone is okay with that. In some spaces, I know it doesn't work.
Man. And your breakthrough in the industry, I don't know, I might be wrong. I personally started to get to you ka project ya label. That's when I was exposed to you as the drummer, because I mean that those were the years where I was popping, popping your Peter, like. I'm just being honest.
You're still popping. Nothing has changed.
And that's when there's this drama, like clean, arasi. Was it your breakthrough in the gospel space?
Not necessarily. I think that might have been the big album that I got to be involved in. But then in that one, I was not just the drummer. So maybe it was my introduction in terms of production, but also that I would be skeptical because they were sold. And
are you gonna come there?
And what happened because of sold to a certain extent. So I think, I guess we'll have to say that that's the moment that everyone else sort of realized that, there's this guy. Because for the longest time, I've always been doing jazz. I was doing gospel, but for the longest time I was doing jazz.
You played for Mandlams.
We've all played for Mandla. Like, it's one of those. We've all played for Mandla.
We've all go there.
We've all been through that space.
You were mentioning soul. It was It was a great guys there, great crew.
Yeah.
Was it Chelete or
No,
What?
man.
Because you know sometimes wherever there's group of people, the outsiders will think, oh no, they are fighting about money.
Yeah.
No, Mang Mang Udriles also. Mang Mang we Mr. Mang Mang.
Yeah.
And it was such a great vibe.
No, man, it's literally just growth. It's
Ah.
literally just growth. As individuals, we grow and we all start doing different things. Then we can't always commit to certain things at the same level anymore. So that's literally what happened. It's literally growth. Everyone is cool with each other. We've just we've got married, we've got kids. There's things
I
now.
can't relate now. So like from those years what you guys did as Sold,
Yeah.
do you think maybe there's a chance where you guys can sit down together like, guys, let's just connect again, do something?
Yeah, definitely. I still want to do something. In fact, I wanted to do something this year because it's literally last month was 5 years since we recorded Tsohle.
Okay.
So I wanted to do like a reunion, but then
Yeah, people are busy.
yeah, no, even that I think I just didn't think it all the way through.
Oh,
Yeah, because I don't want it to be a tedious thing. It must be done well.
okay.
Definitely, I'm planning to
do something.
and I still need to have those conversations with everyone to say, hey, I think we should do this thing. Like literally call everyone that has ever been a part of Sold from when it started.
From the birth. So who started the concept?
So it was started by Gogetso and Manqoba. You won't know him.
The name.
Yeah, no, listen, you
think
don't know him.
I've heard the name from Muruti.
Yeah. So they used to live together.
They are friends, or they were friends.
They are friends. They're still
Yeah.
friends. Just that he relocated to Pietermaritzburg because of work. But he's from Newcastle. He's here also. He was also here studying, and. So they started it together. It was Gogetso started playing bass at the time, and then he started writing as well. So Manqoba plays piano. Then they put together a song of some sort, and we were all at the same church at the time.
Okay.
And we were not really close with Gogetso at the time. He was the youth leader at church. And then Manqoba was like, no, let's get this guy in and let's see what happens. So that's literally how Soul started. Gogetso was writing songs and he just wanted to hear how they sound. We called some of our friends and that's how Soul started.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I think it is one of those things where like
Yeah, literally.
out of the blue.
Yeah, it was never meant to be what it got to be. Yeah, and I think some of the stuff that we are doing now is an outpouring of that. Yeah.
You also write songs.
Yeah.
Did you write any songs for Lebu?
There's stuff there. There's parts that I wrote, like on Holding On, Christ Revealed. I don't remember. But there's a few parts that I wrote. Yeah, not like a full on song.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you get to get your royalties or anything, like your credits?
Yeah. Then no, she did things correctly. No, she did.
No, I mean like for anything that you have done in terms of the business side of the music.
Yeah, no, I always
you are
tried.
registered.
I always tried to make things happen for myself. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were not taking a pandemic because today you just tell me, no, I want a date, I gotta do it. Like, you are a musician.
No, I want a network. The app is not opening up. That's what I said. The app is not opening up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So as a drummer, like, what's your go-to gear? Like your thing? Or like,
As a drummer,
yeah.
I'm still a Sona fanatic, big time.
But what's the difference, especially with the skins and all that?
Skins, just every skin type gives you a different sound. You know, it's like with what? It's like with drinking coffee. Everyone has their favorite mug. They're like, if I drink coffee from here, I'm gonna have a great day.
Yeah.
That's why half of the time we will have coffee at a hotel, and still when you get home, you still want coffee in that specific mug. So it's like that.
Okay, no,
Yeah,
I get
it's just a feeling. Some skins resonate different than others. With drums, the shell sounds different. Maple, birch, oak, the combination.
And then the sticks.
Sticks play a role. Well, the weight of the stick for you as a player determines how much punch, if I can put it that way, you have. For some people, they prefer lighter sticks. because then they can move faster around the kit because it's light. Some people prefer heavier sticks because they want to have more precision and power, not necessarily speed. They want everything that they play to be clear as opposed to fast. Yeah.
I think it was a year ago, May, towards end of May. That's when I first got to meet you. Like, we were.
Oh yeah. Actually.
It
Yeah.
was a year ago. We were recording at church.
Yeah.
Be still. Is it Be Still?
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. That one.
Be still.
He is God, I think.
He is God. Yeah. The first one, it's
Jesus be lifted.
Jesus. Yeah. It's Be Still. Yeah. But let us go to Jesus be lifted first.
Yeah.
Or should we go to the birth of Mmuso Worship? How it started, to where like, how did you get to put around the team? Because I don't know. You do a lot of stuff. We don't know if you're the MD, but yeah, we just see you.
Yeah. I'm just there. I'm the fly on the wall.
Yeah.
So Mmuso is a church that's founded by Mfundisi Koketso.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's a dream that he has had for a while, that he had shared with me, and it became our dream to a certain extent. You know, so hence I was saying earlier on that some of the stuff that we did back then has overflowed into what we're doing now. You know, so Mmuso is a church, and it started off literally slap bang in the middle of COVID.
Like, dude, these people, like, the country's closed. They are opening church.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening here?
So how everything came about, it was literally me calling some of my friends, say, hey guys, we're doing this thing. We were doing we did an event before the official lockdown. I think we did like 2 or 3. And I called a few friends, like, hey guys, we're doing this thing. Are you guys available? I don't have a team. Are you available? And yeah, some of the guys came like, oh no, let's do it. Like your Once More's, your Bongi and Colin, Ishmael,
Josie.
we had Joseph at some point.
We had
Kuto, Emil, one of the guitarists. So these are all some of my friends. Some of them have relationship so outside. So that's how we sort of started. And then over the years, some of them just committed to be part of the church, and some of them are still there till today. Yeah.
So like, it was just a dream, and then you guys put together everything. Because like, if we go to Be Lifted, like you could just see where it was shot, the video, like it was just overflowing, and you just wonder like, how do these people put around such a great team? I can say young people who are after God.
Yeah. Ash, it's a difficult one to answer because it's not planned most of the time. Even how the guys committed to be part of the church, it was not planned. For me, it was just I've got friends that I know are saved, and they wouldn't mind doing this. You know, that was the birth of it all. And I think out of relationship and conversation, hearing about the church, the vision, and then when you translate that into the music, that's where the outflow really comes from. Nothing about what I think, nothing about what Koketso thinks, what anyone thinks. It's literally the outflow of what we believe God has said to Koketso, and we are just doing our part to serve that. Yeah.
Because it's very rare, like, where you get musician in a way where like they are serving a church on Sundays, they are doing this and this. I mean, like, we go to different churches, people like, okay, if I come to sing there, petrol, give me this much because I'm an artist. But then you get to see where you're like, you are there, you are hands-on, you are making sure like everything it's 10 out of 10.
Yeah. It's a calling thing, man. Yeah, it's a calling thing. It's a calling thing. If you believe you're called into something, you will do what you believe to make it happen. And the people that get involved as well, to a certain extent, they rely on your calling up until they find their purpose in that specific calling. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I get you. It makes sense more or like, I mean, I get to learn from you every day.
Yeah.
I get frustrated on Sundays. I get scared sitting behind that one like, oh man,
Yeah.
what am I doing here? But then you allow people to just do it like, okay, you see their heart is there.
Yeah.
And I think you mentioned about you love saving.
Yeah.
And we are different people, so it becomes an issue, or it becomes a little bit of a problem now, more like whatever we do, we want to focus on how much.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, money is great. We all need it. But sometimes we miss big opportunities because of money. And I say that because there's things that I have gained that I did certain stuff for free, and not because I was intentional about doing it for free, but the fruits of those things came back way later and in different ways and forms. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's why I think for me serving is such a big deal, because I think in serving you are literally confronting yourself, because serving means I am submitting to someone else, irrespective of whether I know more or not. Type of thing.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like for Pule Mpeke, the drummer, the songwriter, the producer,
Yeah.
however you may put it, I don't know how do you describe yourself, but you are doing quite a lot of stuff, and I did mention that earlier. But then, what is it that you kind of specialize in, or you love doing?
Of late, it's become creative directing, production management, and project management. Like of late, and that's primarily because I love seeing people's ideas come to life. Yeah, I thrive on that. If you say to me, I want to make a cup of coffee, I am that guy that's gonna try help you find the beans to make that coffee. And once you drink that coffee, your response, I thrive on that. So of late I've been doing a lot of that, just trying to get people's ideas, bring them to life, live shows, concepts, just managing their teams, the people that they get involved with, the videos, the lighting, the what, just to make sure that we have a good product at the end of the day.
Yeah. Okay. And we were talking on Twitter the other day about the industry and the ministry.
Yeah.
And you did secular.
Yeah.
You have a background of secular, and when you come to the gospel, what has been the difference between the two? And can these two things walk one road together, or where it's hard? Because the thing is, most of the fans or anybody there, they just see the end product, or they just see the lights and everything on the stage, but behind the scenes there are a lot of things which are happening. There are a lot of fights and all of that, but when you get to stage, you have to smile and do what you do.
Yeah, I think the first thing is we need to understand that the industry is a business. At the end of the day, whether you are doing rap, whether you are doing whether you're doing that, whether you're doing gospel, at the end of the day, the industry is about the business. Even if you're singing gospel, if you are in the industry, it's business. And I don't think it's fair to impose gospel beliefs or Christian beliefs in the industry. Because there it's business. It's great that you are saved, but here we are working.
So like the issue of the morals and all that.
That it's a personal thing. And I think I even said it on Twitter that I believe if me and my camp, me and my team, we have this moral stance that, yes, gents, we are Christians. With the artists, we are Christians. This is what we believe. And whatever that we believe in our private spaces will flow out irrespective of where we're at. Even when we're in the industry, you will see the difference between the ministry and the industry.
So how do you then get to see the difference? Because someone will say, I don't know. And then other person will say, no, man, I'm not here to judge whoever is doing their business. I'm just here to do mine.
Yeah. You'll see it, man. I don't want to throw names and give examples, but
Yeah.
I believe you'll see it, man, because gospel is a genre at the end of the day in the industry. It's a genre and anyone can sing it. If you can sing and you've got the right song, it will work. You know, but on the other hand, there's people that don't have the greatest of skills, but their thing is what I'm doing is what I do every day at home when I'm with.
So everything
So everything flows from there.
It's that likunutung la gago.
Exactly. And that's where you'll see the difference of the industry and the ministry element. Yeah, I don't want to be too technical about it. Yeah. That's for me.
For you,
that's where it
and
is.
I guess like we all view this thing different at the end of the day.
Yeah, because I'm in ministry, I'm called for it. And how that happens is not in my control. I can go and sing Komreleta. If God wants to save people, He will do it. And in the same way, if God wants to save people with this one that's not really saved, but He's the available one at that moment, whether they know or not, He will do it still. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, it's far.
Yeah.
It's far. And
So I struggle with sometimes how we as Christian Christian artists or musicians sometimes want to impose our beliefs and morals in the camps that we are in. I mean, if this is what I believe, it's for me. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable with my belief because you've got your own belief and you're not making me uncomfortable or you're not intentionally making me uncomfortable. So a lot of times we as Christians, we get there. In fact, we declare that we are Christians. We say, I'm saved. But half of the time, what we say and do speaks the opposite of what we're saying. You know, as opposed to someone who just comes in, chills with everyone, and just in conversation can pick up Rayman. There's just something. He's not saying it, but there's just a thing about him. You know, and if the other people are uncomfortable, they'll probably release you from that space because they feel like whatever you are carrying, you have an email. They can't be who they really want to be in that space.
Okay.
And I know a few people that have gone through that thing where they got replaced, not because they can't do the job, just because of
their character.
Their character and their integrity makes the other people feel uncomfortable. And the easy way out is sibe right, you know, type of thing.
Okay. Yeah. So in a nutshell, like character in everything. Let's say you are doing a gig, you are the MD. You don't just go for the best. You also check character and...
No, the idea is obviously to get... The best is a tricky thing. The idea is to get whoever's going to do the job well. Yeah, not to get my friend. You know, the idea is to get whoever can do it well. But also, I don't want to be stressed while I'm doing it. I don't want to be worried that you are not going to pitch on the day because Neo said, I've got an interview and I can give you 20K for it. Yeah, I don't want to have those issues. I want to have the issue of, you said you are here, you are doing the job. I don't want to stress about those things.
Yeah. It seems like there's a lot that you guys go through, especially those who are doing a lot in production.
Yeah.
The team, you have to think quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's exceptions that we make. There's certain people that stress you, ne? But as soon as they get on stage, you're like, you know what? There's something interesting that I recently heard from Ukoketso that he was reading, saying you can't leading people in a group does not always work. Because at the end of the day, when you're a producer or a MD or whatever, you are leading people. That's your primary role. You know, you are leading people. And his thing was the way you lead me can't be the same way he leads you.
Yeah.
Because we're different. you might not be able to organize your diary to say, okay, I'm going to do this and that on this day. But you deliver when you need to deliver. So he can't impose that on you, but you're delivering. In the same breath, I'm the one who's orderly, but then I tend not to deliver. So he can't lead us the same way.
Yeah, sure.
So that's why I'm saying that I think primarily it's leading people. So you need to be able to lead people where they're at, you know. If they've got the talent, the skill, great. But you need to figure out, how do I get this person comfortable in doing what I want him to do without saying it?
Okay.
You know?
Okay. So what is it that you are busy with at the moment? What projects are you working on?
Yeah.
What can we expect from you as a drummer, as a producer? Because most of the producers, they don't get the recognition that they deserve.
Yeah.
It's always the artist who gets everything.
Yeah. I don't even think they really do anyway, you know. But it's always cool when someone says, hey, you are that guy. You know, it's always cool. But anyway, what I'm busy with now, I'm still fully involved with Mmuso Worship. There's some stuff I'm doing with Bongi and Colin as well at the current moment.
Yeah.
There's some stuff in the pipeline with Siskoli as well that are possibly happening. So yeah, there's a
so you're getting gigs now.
No, it's not even gigs, it's just stuff that I do, you know. Yeah, it's just stuff that I do outside of being on stage.
Okay. So like, do you prefer being on stage or outside stage?
Ideally, I love being behind the scenes. I love drums with all my heart, but I love being behind the scenes.
So do you think you have kind of reached that stage where like, nah man, let me...
Never. Never ever that. Never ever. So I am available for anything. You know. No. I still love drums big time. Yeah. No, I'm not retiring. I'm not anything.
Yeah.
I'm too young to retire.
You still have more years to give.
Yeah.
But then if let's say there's a project, they need you as a drummer and they need you as a producer.
Yeah.
Different project.
Yeah.
Which one are you gonna consider first?
Most probably I'll do both. Because the one where I'm producing, I can decide when we are doing it. And this one, whoever is leading there, I can go with that. Ngapanya decider, so I can do both.
Yeah. Okay. No, I get that. But then, what has helped you to be consistent all these years up until today? I mean, it was in 2010.
Yeah, that was my mainstream.
Yeah, what has helped you to be this consistent? Because you get to see people, they along the way they just fall off. Like I don't know if it's fall off from grace or what, but you are still here.
I think for me it's the relationships I keep and relationships I built over the years. You know, I met Lebo Morolo in 2008. He was the first person that sort of gave me an idea of what I want to do in the future. Yeah, because back then he was still doing house with Shota and those guys. And he's the first one to say, oh, so this is what you want to do. That's actually called producing. You know, so literally from then to date, me and him are still cool. You know, we still have a tight relationship. I respect him as Lebu the person. I respect him as Leb Lords. I respect him as a husband and a father. And that's sort of like how I treat everyone else. And I think that sort of what keeps me sustainable. And I reinvent myself a lot. I reinvent myself a lot. I fiddle a lot with things. I remember the first time when the SPD was not a thing. I think I was one of the first guys to buy it. And someone literally called me. One of the prominent drummers called me and said, hey man, you're wasting your money with this thing. Why don't you just get a nice sound card? And I was like, no, it's fine. Allow me to waste my money. And now everyone wants it on their technical riders.
So you kind of like...
No, I didn't do anything. I was just one of the first to buy it. I did not do anything.
Okay, so like, you know, like, I don't know if I'm wrong or what, but
Yeah.
I don't think like the electric drums give us that thing there, that special
There are some that do it. Yeah, you just need to buy the correct one. There are some that but it cost an arm and a leg and maybe a kidney or two. Maybe a toe. I hear we are selling toes these days.
Yeah. We have to keep hustling. We have to keep hustling.
Yeah, so look, they are there that can do the things, man, and I think it's experience, man. I've heard Ligon play an electrical drum kit, and I'm like, I don't know how this guy does it, but he's on it, and it's an electrical drum kit. Yeah, like you'd swear he's on an acoustic drum kit. I don't know how he does it, but he does it.
So you do check out our drummers in SA?
Oh, how can I not? I'm here.
Because the thing is, like, most of the people, even musicians, they'll check people who are not within SA.
No, man. I mean, my favorite drummer literally in the world is Mmuso Worship. He's from Emalahleni. He's literally my favorite drummer in the world. For me personally. He's my favorite drummer. He's one of the cleanest drummers, and like he just thinks about drumming differently.
Yeah. The patterns are really nice.
Yeah, and I think because he checked the opposite of what everyone else was checking, including myself. So when he takes that and brings it to everything else, it's out of the world. I love Sneaky. I love Peter. And they're all different.
Yeah, like, because I think drummers, they have a different sound that they bring each, and like, okay, like, I'm gonna make an example. Sabu when he started, he was loud, But
I've come to realize that he's not loud. He's just intentional.
Okay.
He's just intentional with what he does, and then it's a shock for everyone else when we hear it. Because when he does it, he's thought about it.
Yeah.
And he knows exactly where it's gonna land. He knows exactly what effect the listener is gonna get.
And there are those long rolls that he does.
He knows exactly what he's gonna do. When you get the chance, listen to him live, and listen to him go from a loud section into a soft section. Like you can feel it rocking now.
I can think
we just dropped now.
Your Jehovah is your name within Togo's in Devon. Like, I could just think about that.
So he's just intentional, and then we translated it into loud.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just intentional.
So like, do you ever say like, okay, I need to bring what Sabu did and what Snigwe did and what Peter did into one, and you just
Personally, no, I didn't. Primarily because I'm from a jazz background. Not that I'm from a jazz background, but I spent 4 years playing jazz and listening to jazz a lot because I thought I'm gonna do jazz, or rather school tells you that this is the thing until you get into the industry.
But okay, like, what's the difference in terms of music between jazz and gospel? Like, is it the is it time or the patterns and all of that?
It's different. In drumming, for instance, jazz tends to be very sensitive because everything is melodical, and we all sort of like feeding off of each other. There's a drummer called Chris Dave. He's also one of my favorite drummers. He does a lot of stuff with Robert Glasper and stuff. For instance, he literally spent time going through, there's a thing called the Real Book. It's like all jazz standards. He spent time learning all of those melodies and being able to play them on drums. So when you get into a band setup and you say, we're playing this song, he's not just giving you time. He's aware of the song. He knows what's coming, so he's able to interpret it differently. So that's one thing that jazz teaches you, just interpreting things differently. You know, you can't play a hard swing song the same way you'd play a samba song or a bossa nova thing, you know, of which you also get in gospel. But I think gospel is so, or rather it has become so aggressive, for lack of better words, that everything feels like it's loud and there's no dynamics, but actually there are. So jazz sort of helps you be aware of that. I go back to Sub, go listen to him play when he used to play with the late Mams Bongile Kumalo, you would swear it's a different person.
Yeah.
You would swear.
I guess that's the nicest thing about music. Yeah. You can do whatever, especially for musicians or for the guys who are in instruments.
Yeah. Even for singers, man. Anything is possible.
Sometimes I think singers, they are like boxed in a certain section.
I think some of them have boxed themselves.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay.
Some of them have boxed themselves. Yeah.
Man, I don't know if we are still in pandemic or we were in pandemic, but you mentioned like pandemic has taught us like we can never focus on music alone. Do you ever think of like personally it affected you financially or in terms of the gigs, or you could still do certain things during that time, especially from 2020 to 21?
I mean, of course it did affect because there were no live shows, and most musicians thrive on live shows. Even artists thrive on live shows. But personally, it didn't affect me a lot because I've never been big on gigging. I got introduced to gigging when I got to Pretoria. I did not know there's a thing called gigging until I got here in 2008. So I'd already spent quite a bit of my life without that concept.
Yeah.
So for me, the pandemic, yes, it was bad, but because, like I was saying, I love behind the scenes, I'm able to do certain things that don't require me to play drums. So I was still able to make some money. I was able to do online stuff. So it was bad, but I think it taught a lot of us to reinvent. Yeah, if anyone does anything the same way now, after the pandemic,
because sometimes when you get your smaller nyana green pasture, you have to stay there and eat, man.
Yeah, but that's the thing, you are eating and it gets done at some point.
Yeah,
pay the KFC more eating. Then what happens, my penny?
Yeah. Okay, no, I get that. As the producer, as the drummer, how are you making sure that you are imparting like everything that you are doing, like in terms of production, drumming? Like, how do you make sure that this great work that you are doing, it's more especially to the young kids? You call them that?
No, I don't call them anything. I don't think I'm doing anything intentionally, and by that I say I'm not intentionally going to someone and saying this is how you do it. No, I think it's more of a in conversation when we meet up with the guys, the conversations we have, the questions, the answers. I think for me that's what I'm doing more than the intentional stuff. And I think it's because of how I also got into it. I mentioned Lebu Mrolo earlier. As much as he is my mentor, it's very rare where I sat with him and I said, Donna, show me how you do this thing. Instead, it was I was just around most of the time and I figured out, oh, this is what's happening. And recently I just did something where Lebo and Kolu were in the same space, and seeing those brilliant minds working for me was like, I felt like a 7-year-old. Yeah, like seeing these guys work and how just things are pulling together. Yeah. Of course, there's a lot of banter in the middle, but I was like, you know what? These guys are just it. And for me, I think that's the correct impartation. Because Leia Manjia, hey man, big bro, oh, can you please, hey, somehow. It sometimes feels like people are asking you to give them your jobs.
Sure.
Sometimes it feels that way. It doesn't feel like I want to come and learn. It feels like, no, yeah, so that's why I try not to. Yeah.
Let me ask you, is job the best in the business at the moment in SA? Because like
I said, best is a difficult thing, man.
You guys, whenever you get something, it has to go through him. If he doesn't approve it, no, it's not the one.
I think we just respect him and the effort he put into what he does.
Yeah.
I mean, we were together at school with Job. I think he came a year or two after me. but he told us, with Jens Mina, this is what I'm going to do. This is the direction I'm taking. And we all thought he's crazy until he started doing it. Like, I remember when he still used to live in Capital Park.
Yeah.
And he bought like his first setup and started doing what he's doing
Production.
now. Yeah. There's one song that Job leaked out that he produced. And he never released it. That song till today, Skalangayo song, you know.
Yeah.
And what he does in terms of just the mixing and stuff, he spends so much time doing it and investing in it. It's only fair to give him his flowers and honor him and respect him. And also I think it's just a brotherhood thing.
Yeah,
like
sure.
we know where he started
Sure.
and we see where he is now. Why don't we support that? It only makes sense.
And like, I think it's like he prefers behind the scene vibes.
Yeah, man, and there's a lot of money behind the scenes.
Oh, you will see him. There's what?
There's a lot of money behind the scenes. You know, there's a lot of money behind the scenes.
So this thing of budget aiko is just a saying.
No, sometimes I vele. But like, it is what it is. You just gotta know what you're looking for.
As a producer, like, I don't want to say a standard, but then how do you then charge?
It depends.
If you could just estimate.
I'm not gonna give you a figure.
Yeah.
But it depends on what the expectation is from the client. There's certain people that just literally want to come and record a song and mash up. It's a bucket list thing for them. They really, whether it pops or not, doesn't matter. But they've got the money to do it. You know, so there your investment is different, as opposed to someone who's like, listen, man, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. The investment is different, and the effort you put in it is different, and your price tag will be different because you're investing more into it, as opposed to the other one where it's more of a bucket list thing. Most likely, you'll charge the bucket list one more because they can afford it. But this one, you might most likely charge them a bit less because there's an intentionality and probably you really want to do it, you know. And that's why a lot of guys end up having side hustles so that they can choose what they want to put their names on.
Yeah, okay, no, I get. So it just depends at the end of the day.
Yeah,
right?
it depends. There's people that produce songs for 1,500.
Yeah.
There's people that produce songs for 100K. So it's a levels thing, man. And also your profile sort of speaks for you as well. You're not gonna go to Ngube and say, man, nah, 2K.
But then I can like you can my brass.
But also
the relationships.
No, but also there's relationships, but don't abuse them.
Sure.
So I think a lot of times you abuse the relationships we have, and the time when the day comes where you really need them, yeah, the tap has been closed specifically for you because we're not so long to negotiate.
Because the thing is, like, I don't know if I'm wrong or what, but it seems like it's a small circle, man. You know, if it's Tabet who's doing a gig or who's producing, you already know the band. Or like,
funny enough, you actually don't, eh? We just assume. Yeah, we just assume that we know the band because they called Koli.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think things have changed over the years.
Things have changed.
Yeah, I think things have changed.
Okay.
And everyone is more aware of what's happening.
So that thing, the attachment, they're like, thing, you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just getting over the fact that I always want to work with my friends. It's great if we are able to do that. But also I think everyone is getting to a place of, I want to work with people that are going to give me what I want right now. You know, if all my friends can do that, great, we continue doing it. But if there's someone additional that we need to make this thing pop.
But doesn't it cost like, hey man, and it's a good paying gig?
At the end of the day, they will go have a bride together after rehearsal. You know, I think that's the other thing. As passionate as we are, this is our job. It's a career. The guy working in IT, he's working, and most of the time those are not his friends. He's built relationships, but those are not his friends. They are there to work. The COO or the HR is not going to give him a promotion because they're friends. Well, he can, but there's merit to them getting to that place. So I think with music, sometimes we nullify it so much to relationships that even when we out here, I'm like, we're friends, but honestly speaking, I know you're not going to be able to crack this. And not because you're not because you're a bad musician, because it's just not your vibe.
Okay.
Yeah, and we must just be cool with that thing. I know, it's fine. He wanted that.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And also, if the friendship is legit, now I'll call them and say, hey, Neo, I'm doing this thing, and I'm going to work with these people. Simple as that. If you take offense, but it's courtesy. I don't have to do it. Sure. It's just that I value the friendship we have. It's courtesy to say, no, I'm doing this and I'm going to work with these people. I know we normally work together, but for this one, because I want this.
Yeah. Okay, no. So you are saying there are merits in the gospel space, in the industry.
Let's leave this gospel thing because in our politics that are really unnecessary, I feel.
But politics are everywhere though.
Yeah, but for gospel artists, I feel like it's a lot and it shouldn't be. Because primarily because we say we're Christians.
I was about to say that sometimes you'll get that thing. I hope I said that well.
And he will, definitely. He will. And at that moment, you are my blessing by paying me. At that moment, he's using you to bless me by paying me for my services.
No, I get you. I get you, but it's been almost an hour now. So, Jens, any questions? Going once, going twice?
I don't know.
Closing. But then before we close, let's just wrap it up in a game.
Yeah.
I'm calling you for a project. I've got a gig on like, hey, Mr. Pule, please, I need a band. I need BVs that we can work with. I have an artist here. What I want to record something nice, and we want something that can give us a crown.
Yay!
In terms of sound, we want something nice, and you have to select the drummer, the bassist, the BVs, three BVs, the lead guitarist, and the one who's gonna be on the keys or the pads, and the producer. You are excluded on that thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we recording my album?
No, you are the project manager.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm giving you Zagot like.
And we're recording a gospel artist.
Sure.
What style?
Yeah. I just need something that's going to hit the market.
Yeah, no, but no one was going to hit the market.
Because it's let's say a mixture of contemporary and traditional, because I'm trying to win both sides now.
Okay. On piano, I would call Joseph Magona.
Okay, why him?
Joseph has got a way of merging these things. So he loves hymns, for example. He's the one guy that will listen to Ngandweni like it's normal.
Sure.
And sing along.
Sure.
Yeah. And sing along and even do a full cover of that song. You know, he'll do that, and then in the very same space, he'll do a Marvin Sapp thing randomly.
Yeah.
So I think he's like very well camouflaged. Okay. While there's stuff that you can hear, okay, no, this is Joseph.
Yeah, sure.
But for me, I think definitely I'd call Joseph on piano. I'd call Lebum Rolo on keyboards. Yeah, no, there was a genius. Yeah, it's just a genius. It is what it is. I'd call Lebum Rolo on piano. I would call Peter on drums. Peter Jumbo on drums. Bass. That's a difficult. I'd call Fora. I'd call Fora on bass. Yeah, I'd call him. And then on guitar, ne? Guitar, I'd call Emil. Yeah, I'd call Emil the white boy. Yeah.
You played with him, Lebo.
Yeah, he did Lebo as well. Yeah. I'd call Emil. And if I had an option for a second guitarist, I'd pair him with Mzizi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd pair him with Mzizi.
Okay.
You said 3 vocalists,
yeah.
Sure. Sifuna ukukhala or sifuna ukuhlaba?
Sfumklaba, man. Askan.
Okay, I'd call Johnny.
On BVs.
On Turner, yeah. I'd call Johnny on Turner. I'd call...
my brother. Shut up.
I'd call Umosa on soprano.
Oh man, she's good. She's good.
Umosa, and then on alto, hey. Yeah, that's a difficult one. Hey, I think
Masala go to 2.
Probably call Bongi.
Mandela,
yeah. Probably call.
I think at the moment, like, you can mention her into those list of people who are topping now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, she works hard. She's doing, and she delivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I think a lot of people that are working, they just deliver. Yeah, it's very little of the skill or whatever. It is there. It's important, but they're just working hard.
Sure.
Work ethic. They're delivering. Yeah. And you can hear I'm trying to dismiss this talent thing because hey, it's messing us up a lot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Before we close it down, like you were part of the making of Ngeke Kusuke Kuwe. How do you feel about the rounds that he's doing now? I think it's
great for Once More, man. It's great for him. He's been at it for a while, you know, and I think we've all seen him transition over the years from when he was still, his introduction to the industry was like through Taps David, technically.
Yeah,
and we saw him move up until he becomes what he is now. And it's what I was saying earlier on about Lukunutu.
Sure.
Yeah, like irrespective of where he is, who is behind him, it does not matter. Him alone.
Yeah. You know, like, just to close it up, I was thinking, like, I heard him sing it in different versions, and I'm just thinking, like, it's over young, like, if you could just try to match all the languages, because music is something else at the end of the day.
Yeah, we're actually working on something now with him.
Should I go deeper?
No, we're working on something. We wanna release a few different versions of the song, especially in terms of languages.
Sure.
We were going through some of the YouTube comments and realized a lot of people, like, they connect to the song but they don't understand the lyrics. Obviously there's like an English translation, but English sometimes just, how do you say "Kuyahlalega kuwe" in English? It doesn't have the same impact in English.
Sure.
Yeah, so we're working on that now. We're still trying to get a few people to help us translate and get a few different languages, and let's see what happens. I think I was saying to someone over the weekend that I think Once More has just entered himself into the next hymn book 100 years from now.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the next 100 years from now, people will still be singing that song. Yeah. No, thank you for everything, man.
It was a great hour. Yo.
Thanking you.
You can talk, man. You can talk.
I bought better bundles, man. I'm on.
But anyway, thanks Kalebo Hampati.
No, thanks.
From Namurama Taupa, Namuratsipa, Negerba Fetu. Let us meet on the next episode. I'll see you there.